is a fight for freedom, old top.
I'll do it. For America.
I'm joined tonight by Terry O'Neill, president of the National Organization for Women, and Krystal Ball, Democratic strategist and MSNBC contributor, and also pushing a website, boycottrush.org. Terry, you first. Thank you for joining us tonight, both of you. Terry, should Rush Limbaugh be fired?
Oh, absolutely, he should be fired, Ed. You might want to add a third option on your question. Hell no, could be one of the answers. Yeah, he should be fired. He shouldn't be on the air. These issues about what kinds of services insurance companies should be required to provide in employer-based health care plans is a serious issue and needs to be debated in a serious way. And when Rush Limbaugh decides to attack an individual woman in the incredibly aggressive way that he attacked her, and really, honestly, there were overtones of violence in this ongoing 3-day attack on Sandra Fluke. When he does that, he makes it impossible to have a serious conversation about these important issues. He should be off the air.
Krystal, what about the effort to remove Limbaugh, the website that you've got going, boycottrush.org?
Yeah, we launched boycottrush.org, which includes a petition to call on his sponsors, the people who are spending their advertising dollars during his show and on his website to support his hateful program, just asking them to withdraw their support. And we launched it on Friday. We're now coming up on 100,000 signatures, so it's been hugely successful. And more importantly, as you've been reporting, we've seen the advertisers and now the affiliates starting to drop off. So this has had a real impact on him and forced him to give a sort of weak, half-hearted apology, and also to then spend part of today trying to walk things back a bit. So Terry, it has been successful.
Terry, isn't it going to take more than a website? Isn't it going to take the social media being organized at the local level to go after these stations that carry Rush? I mean, if women in this country really want to change and move this kind of broadcasting off to the side, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it is, and I think social media has already played a huge role in getting the advertisers to back off, and I think social media will continue to play an enormous role in getting the stations to begin to drop him. You know, it also, however, would be very useful if the leaders of the Republican Party would step up and condemn Rush in no uncertain terms. But the problem is, and a number of senior Republican commentators have made this point, Rush Limbaugh is one of the most powerful power brokers in the Republican Party.
I have to say, I think his ratings are overstated, and I think you're going to see a lot about that in the industry coming up. I think that there's this facade surrounding Rush that he is the big king, and he is diminished dramatically. If there's a time to get him off the air, this is the push. I mean, if women in this country are serious about what they hear on the free airwaves of America, there's no better time. Now, Rush says that his comments were not so bad when you compare them to others. Here he is.
You talk about the double standard, and one of the greatest illustrations of it is that rappers can practically say anything they want about women. And it's called art. And they win awards for it.
Krystal, what's your response to that?
Well, his whole approach is to make excuses rather than taking responsibility for his own actions. I mean, in his apology, to say that this was a poor choice of words, and he has really only apologized for using the word slut and prostitute, which calls into question, you know, what alternate words would he have liked to use instead? Would harlot or lady of the night have been better? But there's a complete failure to take responsibility for the hateful words that he's been spewing, not just over the past week, but really over the past 20 years of his career. If this was an isolated incident, it would be one thing, but clearly there is a pattern here that needs to stop.
And he's not used to apologizing at all. In fact, today on his radio show, I listened to some of it. I'm on the air at the same time, but I listened to some of it, and he's in uncharted territory right now. He's unstable as far as how he should handle this because he doesn't know. Rush Limbaugh argued, Terry, today that Sandra Fluke is a contraception activist, and that this was an attempt by Democrats to change the subject from religious liberty tonight. Moments ago, Bill O'Reilly made the same argument. Is this new line of attack on Sandra Fluke going to work?
No, it's not. What they're doing is engaging in the kinds of tactics that bullies always engage in. You attack, 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 and then when you're called to account, you back up and say, oh gosh, I was just joking. That's one of the things he says. Or, oh gosh, look at her. She wasn't hurt because she's really strong. She's an advocate. Therefore, she deserves to be attacked. As if she is the same kind or same level of public figure that Rush Limbaugh is. It's absolutely false, but it is clearly the bullying tactic. And you see it at every level. You see it from junior high school to high school to Rush Limbaugh. You see it all the way up. And it's not going to work this time, I think. I think he's going down.
Terry O'Neill, Crystal Ball, thank you for joining us tonight. I'll have a lot more to say at the bottom of the hour of this broadcast. Remember to answer tonight's question.